Yo, Brandon.
Oh, I guess you're okay. It's good evening, good afternoon, and good
Yeah.
whenever good whenever you're
uh,
watching the show. I am Arc Winter
yeah.
Nathan, and joining us today for the this review of Chainsaw Man Reeze Arc
Mm,
is Isaac of the Amateur Otaku Podcast, and also Brendan of the Amateur Otaku Podcast, and me guest starring.
yeah, and you. It's going good. It's going good. And Brandon, are you there, or do you have tech issues again? Brandon.
Mm, uh, while we sort
Oh,
out the
hold on.
technical issues,
Yes.
let, we will Brandon will join us shortly. He's just having technical issues. But right now, let's talk about the Chainsaw Man movie.
Yeah. I'm. I think let's just start talking about our history with the book. Maybe before we go to the movie, just to have Brandon a chance to.
Good,
Are you
good.
there, bud?
Maybe,
May-
possibly,
We
apparently.
hear you now.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good
Yeah,
night. This is
I,
Brandon
I already
arriving
did the
late because my
introduction.
microphone
we
sucks
only
balls.
we already did the intro, but
Yeah, I know, I know.
uh,
Sorry, out of nowhere, I don't understand how technology works. Apparently, I'm an old fart. I don't know what happened. Everything was working 2 seconds prior to the show starting, and suddenly my microphone goes said, "Hey man, just so you know, go fuck yourself." Like that's literally what just happened. And I apologize. Um, Hi.
yeah, we were okay. Since it's up already mentioned, we were thinking talk about our history with the franchise, and Nathan, you can start.
All right. As the de facto host, I will start. Okay, so here's my history with Chainsaw Man. I like it. It was I think read the book back in 2022, or I think it was 2021. It was before the anime came out. There was a lot of hype with the anime, so I thought, okay, let's. I want to see what all this talk is about before it drops. I read through part one. Phenomenal work. Like genuine generational run with that Fujimoto did with Chainsaw Man, and I kept reading through part two, and I'm not going to say anything else that's past this moment in with the movie taking place because that's spoilers, and we do not like spoilers here. So I'm going to say just sum it up. Read the manga because I heard good things about it. Love the manga. Love part one a lot, like part one of the anime, phenomenal work. Go watch my review of Chainsaw Man season one, and and now and I like can still really love the series as well, even if I'm like on and off it because I'm just busy these days.
Yeah, and Brandon, what about you?
Chainsaw Man is not for the faint of heart, to
No,
say the
no.
least. I think any of Tatsuki Fujimoto's work is not for the faint of heart. Like he likes to. There's a lot of shock factor on purpose that he puts the readers through. But at the same time, if you have the patience to go through all those shock values and all those raw and gory scenes and images, he is trying to say certain deep things. I just think it's one of those series that everything is so hidden within all the madness that you have those people that love the madness. And I think most people love Chainsaw Man not necessarily because of what Fujimoto's trying to say through the series, but also primarily because of the craziness of the series. Because I think it's safe to say that there's really nothing in the mainstream of anime as wild as Chainsaw Man right now.
Hmm.
Like that
Mm,
everybody's watching and paying attention to. You know what I mean? Because we all know about ridiculous anime at the same level as Chainsaw Man, but I don't think any anime of this particular nature is so mainstream as Chainsaw Man is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
not what I can
but
think of. No.
But the cool thing about Chainsaw Man, though, is the fact that Fujimoto does have things to say, critiques to put out there, that if you're willing to pay attention, there's great stuff there. I would even venture to say there's great stuff in Fire Punch, but that's, I would say, even more crazier than Chainsaw Man. But I will say that I am creeped out, but very intrigued with Chainsaw Man. I still am to this day, as I am up to date with the manga. Um, and if we're going to talk in a nutshell of how I feel about this movie, and specifically about this arc, I think this may be my favorite arc of the book so far.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's because it is Fujimoto's most honest love story, but it's a love story in the way that only Fujimoto can say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
like it has all the elements of a rom-com, but it has all the nuances that Fujimoto is known for. You kind of see a lot of Goodbye Eri in this story as well. Um, and I don't know. I think they did a great job in bringing that story to life. Part of me is angry that we didn't get a second season per se, because originally the promise was a season 2, and then it became a movie because they wanted to kill the show, because apparently Mappa wasn't happy with how it did over there in Japan, even though it did a phenomenal in the States. It's funny, like Chainsaw Man is Mappa's Legend of Zelda.
Hmm.
You know, like Legend of Zelda blew up in the West. It didn't really do great in Japan when it came out. But I think this movie, we have a lot to discuss, but I think Mappa did a phenomenal job bringing the story to life, and I'm very happy about it. And
Yeah.
Ryan Colt Levi killed it again. Just saying,
Nah.
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, you saw the dub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I thought I saw the original, but I saw the dubbed, and it was phenomenal.
I was still thinking of going dub and sub, but they only showed a sub here in where I live, so yeah. But to put in perspective of my history, well, if you look interesting in the, I'm sort of like with Nathan, heard of the manga, got interested, or also heard of the anime, got interested, check it out. You get the ordeal,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I do love the part 1. Part 2 is that's that's a story for another time, but because that's just part 2, let's go with that.
Yeah.
And well, speaking of normal books, I do argue that Look Back is a fairly normal story for him from Fujimoto, but honestly, but that's the only one I can really think about. And I highly doubt Fire Punch will ever get animated. Let's just go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not. Especially since that manga came out years ago, and it's apparently more messed up than Chainsaw Man, which is saying a lot.
I would well, if we're bringing if we're talking about Fire Punch getting an animation, I'm not gonna lie, but if there was anything that is meant to be a proof of concept of how Fire Punch should be animated, is this movie.
Mm.
Because if you're gonna do Fire Punch, you do it like this and in theaters. You don't do a show. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there in the world. You know?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yes,
And not only that, Goodbye Eri was successful because it was a film. Look Back was successful because with film.
Goodbye Area haven't gotten an anime adaptation. That's just a manga one shot as far.
Wait,
Look Back on the
yes,
other hand,
so
have got an anime adaptation.
but also like I'm thinking also of the fact that films like Perfect Blue, Paprika are coming back to theaters. How big Demon Slayer is doing. If you're looking for something unique that's never been done, you do Fire Punch. Just saying.
I mean, if Berserk never get the chance to get a proper animation anime adaptation, I doubt people are going to have the balls to adapt that thing. Just saying.
But the difference is this: Berserk is a beloved series that is still thriving in book form. Tatsuki Fujimoto's work is becoming more and more a multimedia genre in and of itself.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like isn't Berserk like some of the artwork is just impossible to adapt into animation unless you have like a budget of like infinite money. Like Chinese Man is beautifully visual. Yeah, you go
Well,
first.
it's funny that you say that, but like, I would even say the perfect way to do Berserk is to do it like. Let's start talk. Well, actually, we're here to talk about the movie. So let's start talking. Let's start talking about it. Those first shots of the film in the black and white dream sequence, that's how you do Berserk.
Yeah.
You don't do it in color.
Yeah.
You do it like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And not only that, even though the rest of the series was a disaster, according to what I've heard, but like the one thing that sold the trailer for what later became the train wreck of Uzumaki, right? Was the animation style that they were using. You do Berserk in that black and white, raw, gritty style. You don't do it in color. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it would accentuate the action. It will actually allow you to get away with. It's easier to get away with goriness and dark fantasy in black and white as opposed to adding the color and the textures that will freak a lot more people out. Does that make sense? It will make it more of a unique experience. That's kind of like I don't know. That's if I were to watch Berserk, that's kind of how I view it being, because also you can get away with doing great 3D/2D animation in that black and white scenario, which is kind of what that dream sequence was. And I think that's a good stand. I think that's a good jumping off point. Like
I was about to say
the nice balance and mix of 2D and 3G and CGI animation in this film, I think, is masterful. Some of Mappa's best work of actually finding ways to blend it.
But Brandon, why not do a quick synopsis before we truly start with this whole book?
What was that?
Why not start with giving us a quick synopsis of the movie before we truly go into it?
Okay, here it is. Denji is a horny, very hungry little boy that is taken on a date by the woman of his dreams. And then suddenly, because he's a very hungry and horny little boy, he finds this girl in the middle of a storm. And then even though his heart says no, the rest of his hungry, horny little body says yes. And he falls in love with this young lady that then tries to kill him, even though he really loves her, and even though she kind of loves him. And then it becomes this madness, nonstop train ride of action, blood, gore, devil, and things that Chainsaw Man is known for, to then give us a tragic end that gives us a beautiful display of.
I said synopsis, not a TLDR of the entire thing, man.
I'm not giving details. Rom-com ending with sadness. The end.
Nathan, should we tell him?
Wait, tell him what?
That it was kind of a TLDR, but anywho.
I mean, let's just go over our thoughts over the movie. It's just.
I don't know what TLDR is. I don't know what that is.
Too long didn't read. It's
you sum it up. You sum.
You know that I haven't done this in a while, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You made the decision of letting someone that hasn't done this in a very long time not only try and lead it, fail horribly because of technology, and then ask him to do a synopsis.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I like you put you on the spot sometimes. And for the record, you were a part of our recording of it. You were part of the recording of our talk about the trailer for live action season 2 of One Piece live action. So it wasn't that long ago.
Okay, all right, let's chill out. Okay, I guess I'll have to be host now because like you two are.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Brandon can.
All right.
Hello, Angela.
Hello. All right, so guys, let's start with Isaac first. How did you feel about the movie? Just and then we'll all go through our roundtable thoughts, and we'll go into open discussion. Isaac, you're first.
Okay.
Yeah. I loved it. Honestly, I loved
Yeah.
it. It was just they put in the insanity that is was needed for this arc in general, while also giving it those small, relaxing details that it needed throughout. Before the shit hit the storm, so to say,
Hmm.
and kind of like, how should I put it? I can understand why they switch up the animation style compared to the last season, because the last season, while having some insane moments, isn't as action packed as it is in this arc, in my book. And funny enough that you mention it, but the Japanese fans hated the previous season so much that a porn parody sold better than the season one. But I
Isaac,
digress.
can I
That's
ask
feeling for
something?
Denji.
It's been 3 years, and in the 3 years that you've been talking about the Chainsaw Man anime, you
Yeah.
keep bringing that up. Why?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
For new listeners. But anywho.
Really?
Yeah,
That's not
Yeah.
important information.
that's not.
You whore dog bastard.
Isaac, stop embodying Denji. Stop. Focus. Okay. All right.
But yes, I do love it, and I have to say, poor Mappa's animator, because honestly, at times I as a from the aspect of you're looking at the aspect of the animation quality. This is easily one of the best movies I've seen when it comes to animated movies. Period.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. Let me put it like this: I enjoyed the Infinity Castles Demon Slayer movie and all that. Yes, and it's gorgeous on its own right. But this is more impressive on a technical scale with all the shit that hits the fan.
You, I haven't seen that movie yet, so I can't agree. But I do say the movie. This is a very visually stunning movie. At times when especially in the action scenes too, when it's especially with the big battle later on between Denji and Shark Beam. There's this Reza and the tornado devil. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
It's definitely is. I think one of the things that I enjoyed most about this movie, technically speaking, is that no matter what anybody says about the first season of Chainsaw Man, is that Mappa has made it a point to make this series a very technical, a very technical and stylistic series. Like they make it a
Mm-hmm.
point to shoot it in a very cinematic way. And I like that this one was shot not only cinematically, but also in a very like, hey, we're gonna try different ways of doing angles and shots. Like it's a very artsy movie, and I
Mm-hmm.
really liked, especially like the whole pool sequence. The way the camera comes out of nowhere from top to bottom, and you get different angles where you're only looking at the pool in a corner and like under the water, and like a lot of it is like very visually appealing and interesting. Um, and when it's wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of very interesting, a lot of I don't know who animated the battle sequence, but like there's a lot of flashbacks to the whole Wano fighting sequences, like for the big battles with all the instant shot images and stuff like that. There was a lot of that, which was made it very fun. But I like the fact that it balanced the sweet moments. It had a little bit of what you expect from a romantic comedy or romantic story anime. It had everything you expect when it comes to shots of the action and the kaiju like battles. And it had a lot of shots that you can simply look at the shot as a simple picture or image or portrait. And it tells a story in and of itself. So there's a lot of visual storytelling going on as well. So from a technical standpoint, I like the fact that not only did we carry this from the original season of Chainsaw Man, but we also went even further into challenging the viewer into that, hey, this is just not going to be a one-to-one. We're going to literally find ways to continue to explore the story within the medium that we're trying to tell it, as opposed to just look like panels. No, this is a film. This is, so we're going to show it in different and explore it and expose it as a film, so that you can technically, you could forget the book to a degree. You know what I mean? So I like that they went as far as to do that. So, and which made the film very appealing to watch.
Yeah.
Now, story wise, I do like the fact that they took the time not only to tell the story almost shot for shot for how it is in the book, but did you guys notice that they made it a point to show the exact frame that season one ended with?
I didn't think about that.
Well,
Because so the movie doesn't start there, but when you're introduced to the coffee shop, that is the exact, almost the exact frame that we got in the post credit scene of season one.
oh my goodness, I didn't notice that. Jeez, like that's
Yeah, so they almost did almost the exact frame.
wow. That's that is that is pretty clever. I can't lie. Yeah.
Also, I'm surprised that we haven't mentioned the intro songs, but especially you, considering your interest in movies, Brandon. Brandon, are you there?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I might as well go over my thoughts
Yeah.
of the movie. So I thought the movie was like you guys said, it's beautifully animated, beautifully acted to. Like all the voice actors were phenomenal in the movie, and what I think this is really good review of the movie, which it's by Moist Critical. Like he made a really good review that no one has ever pointed out. Like Denji is like kind of like his main character drive, his main his main problem as a character, like as in his issues he faces. Like you all think people say, oh, Denji's a horn dog, Denji is like degenerate. Like yeah, that's true, but he's a person who doesn't really have he wants emotional connections. He wants something. He vies for that. And this whole movie dives deep into that. Like because you see him like at the start of the movie when he's on his date with Makima, and by the end of it, he's I mean, Makima's pretty sus, but we're not going to get into that. But you can see Denji's like, oh my, he appreciates his human contact and connections with someone he wants to that he wants to like him back. And then you have Reza, who's very much into him as a person. Reza likes Denji for Denji, so this plays into the movie very well. His issues and his main this plays into his character where he's very horny, but he all he really wants at the end of the day is just connection and love, because Denji has a pretty miserable life. Let's be real.
It's funny that you mention we all joke about him being horny and all that, yes, but let's face it, he is like, what is it, 15, 16
I think he's
years in part one.
I think I'm pretty sure in the part one he's I think sure he's 17 in a part one, I think.
Yes, 17. I thought it was young.
Okay, he's apparently he's 16 in the for most of part one. So he's a teenager, and and he also lived on his own for several years. His dad was an abusive drunk, so so it makes sense for why he isn't really much. He doesn't really know how to process human connection well.
It's And it's nothing, not weird that he is a horn dog, so to speak. I mean, I think we can both, in regarding to both genders, can admit that we lost Brandon.
Uh-oh.
Can hopefully he's being able to come back soon
Yeah.
enough. But what
Yep.
the but the thing I was gonna say is it. Oh, he's. Are you back, bud?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, asshole.
But for some reason, okay. So keep going, please. Sorry.
Yeah, because as a we all every from every gender and every sexuality thought of we had thoughts of making us that made us horn dogs. Everyone, with a few exceptions, obviously, but so it makes sense that you have him being that, especially someone that is just has a hard time finding out his feelings, have a hard time with connections, yada yada yada. I feel,
Yeah.
and the thing I was asking you, Brandon, before you disappeared, was the fact that I'm surprised that you didn't mention the opening and how psychedelic it was.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What was it, Nathan?
Nothing. I just want to say I was agreeing with you. That was a pretty wild start to the movie.
it was.
Uh-huh.
It was. I just think that, to me, I think that's the one thing that I would say it's out of place. I could really do without it. And the reason why is because I think that, so the whole thing about following an anime story, like the story of a anime, that is not just a one shot, but like, hey, we're gonna do season 2 as a film and putting out there, like, this is a new phenomenon, right? Of course, Demon Slayer has been the shepherd of this, right? And putting like, and now taking it by the horns. Actually, I would say Attack on Titan, actually, putting the whole finale in theaters and stuff like that. This is a new phenomenon. It's not something that
Yeah.
I don't think the anime production companies have completely figured out yet. And what I mean by that is, just because it's an anime film doesn't mean it needs an intro. It could just be a film. And I get the fact that we want to put the anime intro on there because it's an anime, but to me, I think that the artistry behind the film makes the intro feel out of place. Like, I don't need it. I find it distracting. Like, I'm pretty confident that if I watch it again in the show, I will really enjoy it. But I think as a moviegoer, I would have been fine with just, especially when you don't have anything music like that for the rest of the movie. You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking about a film that's going to have multiple music intro like sequences where it's going to be like that, then I get it. But to me, it just felt out of place. And I think it takes away from the bigger musical moments of the show, which of the film, which I think have to do with like the pool scene and like the final battle and stuff like that. Like, music for a film has a different role than what it does with an anime film like this. And like, for example, if you look at all the other big anime films, they don't really have intros like this. They do have sequences where you see credits and stuff like that, but they are more stylistic and cinematic. This is like a break from the film and then it goes back into the movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why I didn't mention it from the get go, because it just, to me, was like, it didn't really do much for me. Um, but I think you guys were talking about Denji and the type of character that he is and how he just wants connection, and you guys are totally right. Like I think that what makes the whole Denji character fascinating is that on one side you can say that he is a lifeless and without emotion because he died, but in reality he was like that before he died because his life just didn't have direction, meaning, or
emotion that he can rely on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like it doesn't come from the fact that he died and came back to life thanks to Poshita. It comes back like that's just who he is and who he's been. And I think he's kind of like Akira from Psalm 100, where he doesn't really start living until he dies or the zombie apocalypse occurs. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Is
Yeah.
that type of character that I think a lot of us in this day and age can really connect with. Because a lot of us don't really start living until something really hits us in the face. And I like that Denji is the type of character that is saying, fuck it, I'm not going to make this hard. Whatever lets me feel, whatever lets me react, whatever makes me feel alive, that's what I'm going to follow. And there's a certain degree of inhibition in his character, which is why you can kind of see he can never control himself. But at the same time, he is one of those characters that is really like conquered by fear in a way, because if you think about it, he wants to be with Makima, but he's not crazy to the point that he's going to do something. He's always afraid of doing something wrong and pushing her away. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do like how towards the end, for example, with Rize, especially towards the very end at the beach, you can kind of see it's kind of one of the first times that we see Denji pleading for someone without that fear, with true care, with true emotion, which is why I think this particular story is so powerful when you compare with what he has going on with Makima in the past, and why what happens in Arc 2 with Makima, quote unquote, is so much more significant than what we see in the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think whoever said that about Denji, like you were saying, Nathan, I think he was definitely on the money, and I think that's what makes that character so interesting.
Yeah.
Because on one side, you kind of see him not caring about anything at all, but in reality, he really just cares way too much, and it's just, he's trying to learn how to manage it and really keep it with him because he's never had anything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with all that. I would also add on, like, at the end, at the end of the movie, when he's like, saying, Reza, he wants to be with Reza, but even though Reza points out, I just killed God knows how many people back there. Denji just because I think Reza's the one person, is the one person who truly gets Denji, because their paths are similar. It's with that foul line from her in the movie, which we'll get to, I think Denji senses that even though Reza is a bad guy, she's the one person who truly he feels like understands him in a way. So that vying for connection is enough for him to get rid of his comfortable life in how he describes it. He's willing to throw away everything because he found the one person who actually accepts him and understands him, and he can just be have that connection he always wanted.
Absolutely, which is
True,
kind
true.
of funny with how it all jokes about. Even if she tried to kill him, she's still a more healthier option if out of those two. So
Well, yeah, but it's funny you say that because now let's put it into perspective though. Like one of the biggest differences, let's find out the true differences between Makima and Rize is that Rize is a
Great.
devil hybrid like Denji. Makima isn't. Makima is whatever
we don't. They haven't.
Isaac, I'm not spoiling anything. All I said is
They
we
haven't
don't know what
mentioned that
we
in the
don't know.
anime. We haven't mentioned.
We're just gonna say Makima is not what she's seeing.
No. All I said was Makima. We don't know what she is. That's
You
all I'm
said that
saying.
Makima is the.
Okay, let's
No, I said Makima is. We don't know what she is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just continue on, Brendan. Just
Continue.
I'm
We
referee
don't,
here. Yeah.
but the whole point is, we know for a fact that Rize is like Denji, not only in the sense of being a devil human hybrid, but also in the sense of not having a real life to fall back on, not knowing what a real life is or looks like. And as she was pretending to have one with him, she kind of started seeing what he was seeing all along, the possibility of finding out what that is, which is why we have what happens towards the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what makes everything going on with Denji and everything going on with Rize the more tragic, you know? Oh, there's company.
Hmm. And I have to ask. I did joke a bit with one of my sisters, and that one of the segments in this film is basically he saw Sharknado high as a horse and said that I want to do a homage to, so to speak. Do you all agree on that?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that is 100% what he was doing. An homage to the horrible Sharknado movies, and I'm 100% okay with that.
It's kind of it's what you talk about. It's peak when like Denji is right on the shark, like epically through the tornado to fight down those like the devil. That was like it's top 10 over moments of all time, man. I don't know what
Yeah.
you.
No, and you know what's funny? Like to me, one of the coolest moments of the entire film is like, and it goes back to the idea of if the intro wasn't there, I would have enjoyed it more. But I
Okay.
still see it as a peak moment. Is that one moment where the movie becomes a picture that is technically an homage to a Chainsaw Man manga cover.
Yeah, I know, and it's
That moment,
amazing.
that to me, that was like it was remarkable, it was amazing. But because the intro kind of did it, it kind of lost a little bit of its flair for me.
Mhm.
But to me, that was like, oh, this is so cool. It was like one of those Deadpool moments of looking at the screen and go, hey, you know what this is? Like only the people that really have seen the manga covers know what that is. Nobody else does. Does that make sense? And that
Hmm.
and that to me was like tons of fun.
Hmm. And I don't know, since you saw the dub, you didn't notice that, but I did laugh a bit after I find out who Beam's the Japanese voice actors was, and that's Tanjiro slash Ukuran's a Japanese voice actor.
Oh,
Nice,
nice.
nice. Now I will say like I love how innocent they played the whole Rize Denji romance, and I love how it turned dark so quickly. Um, but because of how Denji was reacting towards Rize, they really made it a point to still highlight the fact that no, this is still a romance story. Da 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 da. like I love those nuances and stuff like that. Um, and I don't know, man. Like I keep saying, like I think this is my favorite arc just because I'm a sucker for a good romance drama or whatever. But I love the tragedy that is Denji's life, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that even beyond that, like I think what's going on without any spoilers, what's going on in the manga right now is trying to capture again a little bit of that romantic tragedy-esque quality that this arc has because because I think throughout the entirety of the series, like Fujimoto is balancing whether or not to show Denji as the crazy horn dog, or show Denji as the person seeking true connection. Like at moments you can kind of wonder if Fujimoto doesn't know what he wants Denji to be, but on purpose. Like he's not doing it because he doesn't know what he wants Denji to be. but you can kind of see that at some points there's a good stretch of the book where the only side of Denji that is being highlighted is this side, and then on the other side of the book, there's some moments where the only part that's highlighted of Denji is this other side of him.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to Isaac a little bit about what happened in the last issue, where I literally told him like this is the first time that we see Denji taking action in this way. That was very interesting, very romantic kind of. I would even say now, especially after watching the film.
Yeah.
But all the scenes with the Bomb Devil were just so good.
Yeah.
Like, what a great villain the Bomb Devil is. I mean, personally, I want the same type of. I think it's been so long since I've read it, and also the fact that it took 3 years for us to see more of the anime. I think I kind of lost. I kind of lost the sense of every villain in Chainsaw Man. It's huge. Like every villain is a huge villain. Every villain fight is a huge fight. And it's epic in proportions. Like I'm very excited to see the Fall Devil. I'm very excited to see when
We
we're
aren't.
introduced. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah. Just
I'm not
okay.
gonna.
Go on.
I
Go
can
on.
say names. I can say names, but it doesn't mean anything. Nobody knows. Like but I'm excited to see the scope. Like I love how Mappa's doing a great job in showing us the scope of these characters, and how crazy they are. Does that make sense? Because in the first season of Chainsaw Man, you don't go this big. You go big, but you don't go this big. Like this is the biggest that you go. But I love the fact that if we keep doing, let's say we don't, the only way we see Chainsaw Man moving forward is only movies. I would be okay with that because every other villain that we see is going to be in this scale. Does that make sense? So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, I hear I hear a rumor that they just might just make this movie into a TV into like into season 2. That's what I hear from the rumor mill, but I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm
Which
not
wouldn't
surprised.
surprise me.
That's pretty much what every anime studio is doing, pretty much. I
Hmm.
find, I mean, I said it once, I'll say it again. Ever since Demon Slayer did it for the first time, I always thought it was stupid.
Yeah,
But hey, it brings
Because,
in the cash.
and
money,
that's the
money.
and that's horrible, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that I have the option to choose if I want to watch 8 episodes or if I just want to watch the movie, especially if the movie is as quality. What angers me is when they make it a season and the season is less quality than the movie. That to me is stupid. That's where I have a problem. But did you guys have a
Yeah.
favorite scene? What is your favorite scene?
Okay, so oh yeah, okay, I have a few favorite scenes, but to say okay, I'm gonna go with like the finale because like the last shot with Rizzy's last scene where like she wants to go she is heading back to Denji because she wants to give this a
Yeah.
chance and then like
Yep.
she's about to get to that coffee shop then Makima just shows up
Yep.
like as like from the rats like the rats just summon her up and just like
Hmm.
and Racy gets like tag teamed by Makima and by Angel Devil and it's so like it's so sad especially like Reese's last words being no, truth is, Denji, I never went to school either, which is like a callback to earlier in the movie where like she learns that Denji never went to school, and she found that to be very sad, and now because at the start of the movie you think oh she's a normal person, ish, but then like it turns out she is similar to Denji. She's exactly like Denji in many ways. So like that is such a tragedy in a way. It adds so much tragedy that and adds more evil to Makima that she just basically stole Denji's chance of happiness for her own sick means, and it won't get worse from here. It totally won't get worse from here, but that's for the future. But I think yeah, for like the tragedy and like the emotional impact, I'll go with the finale.
Nice. Isaac, what you got?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I, while I did enjoy the fights, don't get me wrong, it make it makes me I say the slice of life stuff because it makes me appreciate this. How should I put it? The action even more, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Because it's really good slice of life stuff, and sure, while he has some
That it is.
in- interesting spin on it, to say the least, he is a really good writer in those regards. And I don't know if you thought about it, but I did think you talk about how more of an artistic film this is in many ways. Then I thought about the spider catching the butterfly scene, and the longer the pool
Yeah.
scene went on, the more of the butterfly I saw getting weaved in by the spider. As a prime example.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. The imagery is just, it's there, it's clear. Like, it goes out of its way to show the different types of metaphors and ideas that they're trying to play with. In regards to that relationship, at least in how it appears to be in the beginning. You know what I mean? Um, I would say that my favorite scene, um, I'm gonna agree with Nathan about Rize running back. Um, but also like I think the idea that Denji beats her by embracing her.
That's
The
That's
funniest,
kind of,
that's a good scene. Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
yeah,
the
that's
idea, like the idea that we're just gonna sink to the bottom of the ocean and embrace each other, and like, and it's crazy because it goes to show, like, when you're with your person, right? Um, and you embrace your person, like everything outside of both of you kind of just quiets down. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. That's kind of like the imagery there. Like, because in when you're underwater, you can't hear anything.
hmm
Hmm.
And then once you're sinking to the bottom of the ocean together and embrace, like, Makima doesn't matter, Chainsaw Man doesn't matter, Bomb Devil doesn't matter. It's just Denji and Rize just there. And
on
the
the
I and the idea that Denji is kind of pleading to her to, hey, let's go back to that where everything else is quiet and nothing else matters. And the idea that they both have an opportunity to, of course, hell and all the other devils at the end say no in the form of Makima, right? But
hmm
the idea that deep down they both really wanted, even if faintly, wanted that. The idea to belong to something, to someone, and being able to quiet everything else the fuck out. You know what I mean?
hmm
I think that was like the purest, one of the most purest forms of Fujimoto talking about what being sinking in with someone really is. And I think that was beautiful. I think that I would say that's my favorite. That's my favorite really there, because it's funny. We all talk about Fujimoto, and he's always talking about all he likes is domineering, moving, and whatever. But at the same time, he also talks a lot about how Denji kind of really resembles him in a way, and this is kind of like his way of saying, "Hey, this is really nice." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's his way of saying, "Hey, this is nice. It would be nice to have this, but I'm kind of sick in the head, so no." You know what I mean? Like it's that's the way of Fuji talking about this in that way. So I would say I think that's my favorite scene. The movie's phenomenal, and I love the fact that everything builds to that moment of. And I'm gonna say this: it's not the same. It's one of those tricks in great films, and I'm not. This is gonna be a poor example, but it's the only one that makes sense to me. To of a movie that of recent memory, or like it's like the end of Captain America: Civil War. Like the final real heartbreaking moment is not necessarily when where Captain America incapacitates Iron Man, but it's kind of where Black Panther finally catches Zemo, and you come to find out that Zemo has been listening to his dead wife and daughter all this time. That quiet moment of intimacy, what's more impactful than the whole airplane scene and all the action and all the madness. Does that make sense? It's
Yeah,
kind of like that change of direction, and I don't know. And I love the fact that he embraces her and ties them both up in Chainsaw Mail. That was he's
The-
I just thought about something. And it's also a flip of the metaphor.
Okay.
In the pool, Rize is the spider, and real life is Denji.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, yeah, I do kind of agree with that interpretation.
They're both doing it to each other. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, in the end, Denji is the one that actually wins. His emotion is the one that triggers that sense of hope in Rize, which is why she starts running back.
Yeah.
A random question about that scene. And over under 50% that is a homage to Shape of Water.
What?
It's a what? I'm sorry.
A reference to Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro's movie.
Oh, yeah, that movie. And that's, I mean,
I'm gonna
that's
tell.
pretty good.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you if that's a valid. Let me see if that's a valid.
The chapter came out in 2019, and the Shape of Water came out in 2017.
I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. It's very possible, but I want to say yes because it's very possible. I think it's very possible from not necessarily from Fujimoto, but very possible from Mappa.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, Mappa has the creative direction of
This
Chainsaw
scene
Man and
is in the
Mappa.
manga.
No, I know. I don't know, but what I mean is I don't know if I agree with it from Fujimoto's side, but in the sense that Fujimoto hasn't made it a point to quote movies in the book. Mappa has made it a point to quote movies in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So yes, I can see it, but not from Fujimoto, but yes from the creative directors in Mappa.
And yeah, and also funny enough, if I didn't know that the manga was continuing, that scene would have been a perfect end to end the series in my book. If I didn't know it was continuing.
I think if we never get any more Chainsaw Man, I would say the anime ended in a great note.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I agree with that.
So if we don't get anything else, like I'm happier that if the series ends here, it ended with this movie, not with season one. Even though I think season one was great, I think this is definitely a higher note. Um, on whatever work Mappa did with season one,
Yeah.
because this is definitely a step up, like creative wise and animation wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Did you guys like the post credit scene?
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Power is so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She certainly is. She certainly is. I do saw a couple that was cosplaying as Power and Denji in the theaters when I saw it, which was kind of funny.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've
But
done the thing, guys. I think we've done the thing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or what? Do you have anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. No.
So, Nathan, where can people find you then?
They can find me on my YouTube channel, Arcwinder. And if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Nate the VA. That handle. Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter. And watch my reviews. My reviews of Chainsaw Man, like the first season, wonderful stuff. But it's season one's great, and I think my review of of that first season, I think did a pretty good job of explaining why it's so good. But I'm self promoting. I know, like YouTuber.
Yeah, but that's okay. I just saw inside stuff that made me laugh.
yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I am sometimes on Facebook.
And Blue Sky.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
And here whenever I manage to grab you.
Yes.
So.
Yes to whatever he says, except weird things.
And well, you can find me here at Amateur Taco. You can find me at Emblemaniac on pretty much every social media app, and you can find me at Swedish Emblem on my own YouTube channel. Alongside with stream, we have the streaming on our podcast there. And currently going through Pokemon Legends CA and Persona 5 Royal. Once those are done, I don't know where to pick off. More than I have a Christmas special planned for later this year. But anywho, that's from me.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, have it awesome, everyone, and please like and subscribe.
Have it awesome, team.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey now.